You guys, Mr. Beast has changed over the years. Now, obviously, there is a cycle that creators go through. You have to learn how to be a creator, then you double down on the things that are successful, and then you get some success, and then you start to grow. I have seen a lot of creators go through this cycle on the 9-year journey that I've been on as a creator. And today I'm going to talk about some of the changes that Mr. Beast appears to be going through that might not be the best. I'll leave it to you guys to say.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
As most of you guys know, being creators isn't the easiest thing in the world. In fact, it takes a lot of willpower, it takes a lot of drive, it takes a lot of digging deep and fueling yourself, sometimes healthily and sometimes unhealthily, whatever it is. So one of the things that I noticed, I was watching Colin and Samir's interview with Mr. Beast. I call it a podcast because it was freaking 2 hours long. And I watched, 90 minutes of it on double speed. So it only took me 45. One of the things that I appreciate about most podcast hosts is they ask difficult questions. Now, this podcast felt a little bit more like a Mr. Beast love fest. It was more so like,
hey, let's catch up. Tell us what's going on.
And so there really weren't a lot of hardball questions that were asked. It was mostly softball questions. But I feel like Mr. Beast alluded to a lot in the answers that he gave, even to the softball questions. Some of the things he goes through mentally on a daily basis. And so I want to talk about that. I think that it's really important conversation to have with people who, whether you have a business or whether you're a creator who's just looking to be more successful as a creator, I think this is a very important question to ask yourself. So one of the things that he talked about was levels of being a creator, right? He's like, at 1 million subscribers, this is what happens.
People are only going to stalk me occasionally.
The 10 million subscribers, this is what you can expect.
The frequency of people following me home from when I go to Walmart is going up.
At 100 million, you can't go anywhere. You can't even go to Walmart without a mob or people calling their friends to come over and get you. Like, that can take an emotional toll. I want you to think about this right now. I don't know what state or stage that you're in on your YouTube channel, but I want you to think about this. Maybe even like write this down. What is your driving force? What is driving you to be a creator? And you need to make sure that you are okay, that you have enough drive that when things get really interesting, when things blow up for you, you need to make sure that your drive is healthy. It's coming from a place of like a solid grounding, because it's going to take that once you start getting successful. You guys know, like, I had a successful family vlog and we would walk into public with a couple 100,000 subscribers and people come up to us crying. It's weird. It's odd. My kids were weirded out by it. It was creepy sometimes. And I don't mean that to put down any of our fans, from the family vlog days. I don't mean that at all. It is a surreal feeling that overcomes you when that happens. You need to mentally be prepared for that. And just so you guys know, I'm going to give you some actionable tips here in a little bit of some areas and spaces that I think that are untapped, because there's a really important topic that I'm going to go over here in just a second that Mr. Beast has alluded to a number of times. I want you to make sure of we have the grounding first. We need to have that baseline covered first. Your mental health is at risk once you start growing, because as you're growing, the negative numbers, the down slopes, you get these like peaks and these valleys. The valleys hit you harder. And when you start to see valleys over and over and over again, it starts to mess with your head. As you guys have noticed, like in my community tab last week, I mentioned that. I was like, hey, we're in this downward slope. What are some of the reasons that you guys aren't coming back to watch my content? And you guys left me some incredible comments. And I took all that stuff to heart, and I'm starting to incorporate it into my content. You guys are going to see over the next few months how my strategy has evolved. I want you to mentally be prepared for when you're at the top and you realize that everything is counting on you, your mental health is at risk. Mr. Beast even talks about this, how he has this obsession with YouTube, and he wakes up thinking about how to make the best videos that he possibly can. And then he goes to bed thinking about how he can make the best videos that he possibly can.
I work out every day. I work on main channel videos, and then I work on Feastables. And then when I'm done, I go to bed. And I just do that every day.
He also said he thinks about chocolate and Feastables, his healthy snacks, his Beast style burger, 950 calories. You compare that to an In-N-Out double-double, 670 calories. We got some room to grow there. But the point is that as you grow, you have to become more certain of yourself, because you're under that magnifying glass more. People are publicly scrutinizing you. You guys have seen the stuff that Mr. Beast has gone through over the last number of months. He got criticized for curing all of this blindness in kids. That video did extraordinarily well. People are like,
you could have just donated that. You didn't need to make a video about that.
Criticizing him for making a video raising more money so he could donate more money. I thought that was interesting. That messes with your head, though, when you've got tens of thousands of people who are just jumping on your back, telling you should spend your money in a different way. That's messed up. But the next thing that you need to worry about is that when you have so much money that you can literally buy anything. You can do anything. You can spend money on a giant yacht or private planes anywhere in the world. You can stay in $1 million hotel. You can do any of this stuff. What is the challenge in life? Let me just let you in on a little secret. People who are massively successful in life go crazy. You look at what like somebody like Bill Gates is doing right now with this mRNA stuff and everything else that he's trying to do with like the human genome. Man, it is
Sketch.
like, it's crazy. We don't need to go down that conspiracy rabbit hole because I know people are gonna people are gonna talk about it in the comments. But hey, listen, you know what's going on. Elon Musk, you guys, that guy has $250 million. I just read an article today. $250 million. Billion. Billion. 250 doesn't really buy you that much anymore. You can barely buy a plane with that amount. $250 billion, richest man in the world. He can literally buy a country with his money, with his wealth. What do you do when you have that kind of wealth? You go to Mars. Because Elon knows that he needs a goal that's so big, it's going to take him his entire life to accomplish. That's what you do when you have that amount of money. Otherwise, you go crazy. And I'm seeing it in Mr. Beast.
It's pretty hard to tell when it's like one of those moments where you just push and it's like, stop being a keep going.
Yeah.
Or it's like, oh, I'm actually burned out. Like, I'm losing my mind.
I'm losing my mind.
He talked about at one point, he says, I'm having a mental breakdown every other week.
That's like a constant battle for me. I have a mental breakdown every other week.
What kind of a state are you in when you have mental breakdowns?
Every other week.
That's what happens when you start to become uber successful and when you're trying to stay on the top. And he even talked about it in this video. He's like, I have no ego. But then he talks about being competitive.
If someone started, doing videos like at my level or better,
Yeah.
and people are like, ooh, Mr. Beast,
Yeah.
this guy's better than Mr. Beast, I would go so just bananas.
And he talks about nobody else can ever touch him.
Easy way to make money.
Yeah.
I get the clip in. They gave you permission. I want to see TikToks. I want to see shorts. I want to see reels every single moment. You're up here. You're different. No one's going to come in here and be able to tell us what to do, right? No one's going to come in here knowing what to do. Clearly, I'm up here getting like 10 times more views than everyone else, and I'm just going, just make great videos.
I just think it's so fascinating to people watch, to study this. It's really interesting. The next thing is, what are you willing to sacrifice in order to get to the top? Now, again, introspective. It's like there's a lot of people who are like, I would never give up my family for $1 billion. And then you've got these guys who give up their family to go, have a weird affair with somebody. Wow, that just took a weird turn. But the point is like, what are you willing to sacrifice to get to the top? Because I can tell you right now, Mr. Beast, you look at him and listen to what he talks about, and he talks about like stress and things like that. But he talks about like, he virtually has just a few things on his mind that he obsesses about.
It's just obsessive with what people want and give them what they want.
I think
Now, if you want to be successful, I can tell you right now, all you got to do is obsess about something for long enough. If you just obsess about something for long enough, you will eventually be successful. You obsess about how to make money with something for long enough, you will figure it out and you will be massively successful. I have a minor obsession with YouTube, and I've been able to turn it into a multi-million-dollar company.
Right? It's like just a minor obsession.
What are you willing to sacrifice? The next thing is ego. Ego can ruin you. You need to know that. Like, ego can be your downfall. And you see these like massively successful movie stars and successful people in the media all the time where they just get this head that's way too big, and then they lose fans, and then they get themselves into trouble. I mean, look at like Amber Heard, right? I don't know if she ever had any fans anyway. The point is like, she got this huge head, thought she could pull one over on Johnny D. Johnny D took her to court, and we know how that unfolded. That was a hot mess. Super interesting, but a hot mess.
Like it?
Ego can ruin everything. Mr. Beast tweeted this out a couple weeks ago. He says, sometimes I regret going on podcasts and sharing everything I know about YouTube. I thought people would use the knowledge to innovate and be inspired, but tons just copy exactly what I do and don't change anything. Kind of sad how many Beast clones there are, right? Like, there's a hint of ego. Then he follows it up. Despite, I'm still going to share everything I know publicly because life would be boring if I kept it all in, right? So I get that, but there's a hint of ego there. There's like a hint of frustration that people are copying him. Oh, how dare you copy what I do? Here's what I have to say to that. There's this concept, Mr. Beastification. You guys have all talked about it. I think even some people have commented on our stuff.
You guys your content's way too fast paced. It's like Mr. Beast.
That is how the culture has evolved because of Mr. Beast, right? So everything is faster paced now because Mr. Beast has set this bar that has essentially changed or evolved the way that people experience YouTube content or short form content. So he has set this bar. So copying his editing style is not copying Mr. Beast. He's just changed the way that people watch content. Copying his content, everything that he does in his content, yeah, that's not innovative. I understand that. So let's talk about how to become innovative, because that seems to be the hang up point for a lot of creators out there. And I see a lot of creators who are like trying to be like Mr. Beast or trying to be like Alex Hormozy. Like I saw a lot of ads that were like,
we'll edit your videos Hormozy style.
and I'm just like, bro, Hormozy is his own brand. Like, do your own thing. Be innovative. His team was innovative for him. Be innovative yourself. Don't try to be like somebody else. So how do you become innovative? How do you become an innovative creator? One of the things that I always talk about is making sure that you're constantly educating yourself. You need to have stimuli coming in from a lot of different directions. And once you have stimuli coming in from all over the place, it's really easy for you to be like, oh, I'm going to take a little bit of this, I'm going to take a little bit of this, I'm going to put them together. And that's innovation. So making sure that you're constantly educating yourself. Watch a lot of different YouTube channels. One of the things that I love to do the most is go into these like really weird, obscure niches and study how those people create their content so that I can bring some of those tactics back to my own stuff. So I like watching like rust removal videos, and I like watching those like primitive technology or primitive building, right? Where those guys dig holes in the ground, they make these like cool underwater pools. I like watching lawn mowing videos. Like, how boring is that? How weird is that? Is it weird? But it helps shape me into a better creator because I'm taking stimuli from all over the place. I'm not taking Mr. Beast videos, transcribing them with GLASP, running them through ChatGPT, and going word for word script on different creators. I don't do that. I like to be more innovative. I'm an innovator. All right, the next step in being truly innovative is being risk adverse, being willing to take risk. If you listen to Mr. Beast talk about it in this podcast, he talks about how he reinvests all of his money back into growing his business.
I can spend every dollar in my bank account on a video because I don't care. I know people will watch it.
I don't recommend doing that. I recommend, taking your share, paying yourself. But he takes a lot of risks with his content. His ideas are to the moon ideas. Think gigantic with your ideas. Take gigantic risks. Ask people hard questions. Do weird things in public. Don't do too weird things. Don't get yourself arrested and then blame it on me.
I'm sorry, officer. Uncle Raph told me that it was okay to ride a unicycle naked in public.
Don't do that, please. Don't do that. Take risks and try new things. Be willing to experiment. What's the worst that can happen? I can promise you right now, nobody who's watching this video, aside from my mama. No, mom, yeah, probably not my mama either. Nobody who's watching, my wife doesn't even watch these videos. Nobody who's watching this video right now is going to be at my funeral. I'm not saying that because I know that you guys like the content. I know you guys respect me. Some of you guys respect me. I know that you guys probably care about me at some level, but at the same time, if I died tomorrow, nobody'd show up to my funeral. Very few of you would even know for like another 4 or 5 weeks. So why would I concern myself about making a butthole of myself on camera on these videos? It doesn't matter to me. I'm going to try and I'm going to experiment. Just so you guys know, I've always been a risk taker. I got kicked out of high school twice because I was doing stupid pranks, and I've never been one that has really truly understood or appreciated authority types. So I just do my own thing, always. But that has led to a very successful life because I don't see rules as absolutes. I see rules as flexible. So I like to stress the rules a little bit. If you guys do those things, then you're going to be truly innovative, and you will also probably most likely have a healthier lifestyle and mindset about YouTube and your creator journey than Mr. Beast.
I'm losing my mind.
If you're a business owner, you want to learn more, click the link in the description below to go to our podcast, or you can just click the link to watch a short video case study about some of the people that we've worked with and what we do in our agency. All right. Hey, love you guys. Peace. Watch this video and this video. Catch you on the next one. Bye.